and I want to thank Dr. Akintayo for the invitation to speak here, especially at this time in the world history. We're in the most tumultuous time in the world, and I'm honored to be part of your program. I've never been to Nigeria, but I was just in Botswana and South Africa 1 month ago. I love the continent of Africa. It is the richest continent on earth. The trouble is you have the worst education on earth. And I think that's a very big problem. But the US is now catching up because our education is just as screwed up. And the thing I'd like to talk about is a very important subject. It's called race. You know, we have critical race theory and we have racism and all this stuff, and it always will be there. It always will be, unfortunately. And it's easy, be Japanese, growing up in a white community wasn't easy also. My family was put in concentration camps during World War II. And the hatred of Japanese was, well, we bombed Pearl Harbor, so they're still pissed off about that. But anyway, so, racism is a part of our lives, unfortunately. But I'd like to say that it's time we get beyond that and rise above that. And when you look at this thing here, this is my little iPhone. This is the most powerful tool ever created. It is a great equalizer. If you could live anywhere, I was in Botswana just a month ago, and I was still doing business on my little iPhone all over the world. I was still making millions of dollars. So the reason I say the US is just as screwed up as Africa is because our education system is communist, it's Marxist, and they don't teach capitalism. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a story of capitalism versus Marxism. My poor dad, the academic, is a Marxist. They're good people, and they really think that if you give people money, that solves the problem. But I'm not religious, and I promote freedom. So freedom of religion. When I was in Sunday school, I said, if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. So Marxists believe in giving people fish. And all that does is create more poor people. And the reason that's our education systems, both in Africa, US, and the world, is because 95% of all school teachers are Marxists. They're good people. But they actually believe if you give people money, it'll make them rich. But all it does is make the country poor. So that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because this book here is about a Marxist and a capitalist. I am a capitalist. So when your mother gave me my book, gave you my book, she was telling you, hey, become a capitalist, Dr. Akintayo. But you have to go to school, except when you go to school, they teach you to be a Marxist. So this is the great equalizer. It's called the iPhone, created by a capitalist named Steve Jobs, who dropped out of school, the same as Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard, Gates dropped out of Harvard. All these guys drop out of school because they're capitalists. They're not Marxist. But the good news is this is the great equalizer. And money does not know skin color. Money knows this. How smart are you? And so I'm honored to be speaking to the billionaire habits, because if you think that going to school will make you rich, you'll only get poorer, because they will teach you to be a communist. And as you know, one of the biggest problems going around Africa today and America is communism. Our political leaders are stealing from us left and right. And so that's why I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad 25 years ago. It's because I'm a capitalist. So Dr. Akintayo, when you invited me to be part of Billionaire Habits, I'm very happy to be part of it. Because I am a capitalist. You want to be a communist, a Marxist, that's a free country. It's up to you. You want to be Christian, it's up to you. You want to be Muslim, up to you. I don't really care. You want to be gay, that's your business, not my business. You know what I mean? I don't really care. I'm not here to mess with your freedoms. I just want to be a capitalist. I like making money all over the world. And the good thing about being a capitalist is you can make money no matter which way the economy goes. So I made a fortune in Bitcoin, not because I know anything about Bitcoin, but because I learned how to trade things. So when Bitcoin hit 20,000, I forget when that was, I watched it. I said, okay, it's got to retrace. So when Bitcoin crashed down to 3,000, well, I backed up the truck. I bought lots of it. Today I think it's 50,000.
Yeah.
Am I buying Bitcoin now? No, but I bought it at 3,000. It doesn't make any difference. So this thing here is the equalizer. It's not race, it's not gender, and it's not religion. It's how smart are you? How financially educated are you? So if you tell me that the world discriminates against you, it's only because you discriminate against yourself. I could say, oh, I'm Japanese, so people don't like me. Well, they hate the fucking Japanese. Who cares? I like doing business. You know what I mean? If people hate me for my race, that's their prerogative. But this doesn't stop me. This is the great equalizer. See, we all bleed red. You cut ourselves, we all bleed red. We're all equal. We all have 24 hours in a day. We're all born and we're all going to die. We're all equal. But this became the equalizer. So here I am, I'm sitting in Scottsdale, Arizona, speaking to the world. This was not possible 10 years ago. So if you're still holding on to the fact that you're a race, or you didn't go to college, or you're a Muslim, or you're a Christian, or you're a gay, or you're a lesbian, I mean, that's your stuff. That's your self-prejudice. But the world is wide open today. But you have to have the education to use this tool.
At the age of 18, I read my first money book. And that started opening me up to the fact that it is possible to make it legitimately. You can do it. Do not let anybody deceive you otherwise. The only reason they will tell you it's not possible is because they want to enslave you and keep you on the ground. And the time is over. Let's do something different. Let's make a change. And we can do it. And we've started. And I need you on that journey. Who is going with me? Come on!
To that, we owe Dr. Stephen a thank you for putting on this event, for making it happen, for really investing in the community.
It's really inspired me and motivated me to want to build wealth, invest, and really take my business to a next level.
Take away from this festival is just listening to everyone's story. And so far, everyone's story has really been very impactful.
All this designer on my body got me drip, drip, yeah, straight up.
How are we going to get attention if we don't have content out there? Most of them will not, sometimes it happens, but most of the time they don't sit down with you and say, hey, I would love to buy from you. First get-go, first handshake, first interaction. It doesn't happen, especially for high ticket. They need to see you multiple times, multiple exposure, right, from different platforms until they get comfortable and say, okay, I want to do business with you. Put in chat if this makes sense. Does this make sense? So understand that, what business are we in? The media business. The media business. And I'll demonstrate to you why that's so important. So from now on, don't try to sell your thing. Don't try to sell the products and services. Here's what you need to sell. You need to sell content to get the attention first. Get the attention first, then you get the time. From the time, then you get the business. Part of when you have content out there, you don't want to talk to somebody unless they know that you are somebody. Write this down. Don't talk to anybody unless they already know you're somebody. Why would you talk to someone who's a complete stranger who don't know anything about you, who are not pre-interested, pre-qualified, pre-motivated? I only talk to people who are pre-interested, pre-qualified, pre-motivated. And same with you if you want to sell high ticket. Imagine if you talk to a prospect that's completely ice cold. They don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they don't know what you do. And you talk with them, and now what are you doing? You're fighting an uphill battle. Now you're trying to build trust, right? Now you're trying to do all that. Don't do that. Do it the other way. What if you sit down with a prospect who has consumed your content, who's been watching you, who's been following you on social media? They know what you do. They know your expertise. They know the work that you do. By the time you sit down with them, wouldn't that be a lot easier to sell, to close, to do business? Yes or no? Right? Yeah. So much easier. Then why don't we do it? If you understand that's the business we're in, then that's the business that we're in. You are not in the whatever business that you're in, the products or services that you're selling, those are what you do to sell to make money, but the focus of what we do is not that. That's what everybody else does, and that's why they're broke. That's why they struggle financially. To get to the top, right? How many agree you got to do things differently, right? You got to do things differently. So, most struggling business owners, right, use social media for pleasure. Smart, intelligent entrepreneurs use social media for profit. Write this down. Most struggling business owners use social media for pleasure. Small entrepreneurs use social media for profit. What does that mean? It means this. You think about most people. They go online, they take pictures, they take selfies, they post on Instagram, they post on Facebook. They want to get likes. Yes, they want to get likes. Hey, I guess how many likes I get, right? Share. What? I'm traveling to where, whatever. I'm eating this dinner with my friend. Why? Because they want that dopamine kick, right? Because they want to post something and they get some likes. They're happy, right? Dopamine gets released in the brains. That's all good. Don't do that. That's for most people. You and I, we don't do that. We use social media for what? What's the word? For profit. I look at that as a channel, as a way for you to scale your business. That is the only reason to be on social media. I don't go on social media to get likes. Don't care about that. We have over 10 million followers on social media, right? I go on social media to get attention from the marketplace and turn that attention into revenue. Into revenue. Think about back in the old days. Think about when we had how people used to market, right? They maybe have hand-out flyers, right? Maybe they have a big, massive billboard. They still do that. They still do that, the flyers, right? Why are they doing that? Tell me, why are they doing that? To get customers, to get attention. They don't fall in love with the billboard. They don't fall in love with the flyer. Same thing with social media. It's just a tool. It's a what? It's just a tool. That's all it is. Right? And when we don't use this tool, when we are afraid, when we shy away, when we are hesitant, not using this tool, not creating content, it's like our hands are tied. It's like we're not leveraging it. You don't have to like it. I don't even like it. I can tell you that. I don't like social media. I like what it does for the business. I don't like it. I use it. Be a master of social media, not a slave. Most people, they're a slave to social media, right? They're on TikTok, scrolling 2-3 hours, the time is gone. That is being a slave to social media. A master of social media, we're using social media, we're using it to promote the business, we're using it to get attention, we're using it to promote our brand, we're using it to attract high-tech clients, and that's a smart way of doing it. Does that make sense? Yes? For the chat? Yeah. So we use social media for profit. So let's talk about a theory of consumption. Think about whatever that you do. So let's say you are a real estate agent, okay? And you sell property, and for whatever commission that you make, and you want to make $10,000 in commission, let's say, hypothetically. From now on, I want you to think about for every $1,000 you want someone to spend with you, they need to invest at least 1 hour consuming your content. For every $1,000 you want someone to spend with you, you want $1,000 you want someone to spend with you, they need to invest at least 1 hour consuming your content. Now, it could be micro consumption, meaning 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 10 minutes, it could be a 10-minute video there, 5-minute article there, 20-minute podcast there, or it could be a one-time, right? Kind of like this. This is a one-time consumption, right? So if I am, for example, let's say pretend I'm a consultant, I'm a coach, I want someone to buy my $2,000 course. Here's a question, if I want someone to buy my $2,000 course, how much time I need them to spend consume my content on social media. Put a check. How much time? How many hours? Bingo, 2 hours. Pretty much got it right. 2 hours. If I'm a real estate agent, I want to make $10,000 in commission, right? So if you are a middle person, you're earning commission, in other words, you're commission professionals. If I want to make 10K in commissions, I need them to consume at least 10 hours.
The Global Wealth Festival has been the ultimate destination for wealth creation knowledge for years. We've had gurus like Ryan Serhant, Grant Cardone, John Maxwell, Dan Locke, and Brian Tracy. These are the minds that have graced our Global Wealth Festival stage. But it's not just about the names, it's about the knowledge, the inspiration, the life-changing connections you make. Imagine yourself in that crowd, surrounded by like-minded individuals, hungry for success, learning from the best in the business, and discovering new opportunities. This is your chance to be part of something extraordinary. The Global Wealth Festival is back again. Are you ready to rewrite your story? Tickets are selling fast. Visit www.stephenakintayo.com/GWFUSA to get your tickets now.
Secret number 2 is something that I call the wow moment. All right. Now, the wow moment is super efficient, and it shows a client what's in their price range without having to say it to them. Okay. Because they can afford more. It's also fun. So I'll tell you where I learned about the wow moment, and I'll tell you how to use it. So when I started to make a little bit of money selling a few more apartments, I realized that I needed new shoes. And so I went to a high-end store in New York City, and the shoe salesman came up to me and said, "Hello, how are you? Can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I'm just sort of looking at shoes." He asked me how much I wanted to spend. I said, $200, $300, right, for a nice pair of shoes. He said, "No problem." He took me over to the rack that had $200 to $300 nice pair of shoes. I tried on one pair, they were fine. I tried on another pair, they were okay. And then he said, "Do you mind if I wow you for just a second?" It's like, wow me? What do you mean? Like, yeah, I just want to wow you. Can you try on this pair of shoes? Don't buy them. They're way too expensive. They were $1,000 for these Ferragamo loafers. And I just said, okay, sure. Trying on, it's super easy to try on shoes. I just put my feet in, fine. I put my feet in, I stood up, and I felt like I was flying. I felt like I had clouds on my feet. I was totally wow. And then he said, "Okay, now take them off, take them off, take them off. I'm going to sell these to somebody else." So I took them off, I laughed, and then we went back to my budget, $200 to $300. Tried on another pair of shoes, and they didn't feel as good. Tried on another pair of shoes. They didn't feel nearly as good. And I started looking over here to the $500 to $700 shoes. And I pointed to a pair. I tried them on. They didn't feel as good as the $1,000 pair, but they felt a lot better than my budget. And I was so excited about how good those other shoes felt. I was now ready to make a decision. I wanted to buy these shoes, and I bought them. And that salesperson taught me a lot about the process of how to sell, because he did exactly what I told him to do. So he didn't take me to a higher budget right away. He didn't say, "No, do this," or "No, do that." He didn't tell me what to do. He let me make my own decision by wowing me. He excited me. He surprised me. And he didn't push me to spend $600. I then decided to spend twice what I wanted to spend. So I do that with buyers all the time. They tell me their budget. I say, okay. I show them exactly what's in their budget. I was doing this just yesterday with someone on Fifth Avenue in New York City. They wanted to be on Central Park. They wanted to spend $8 to $10 million. So I showed them everything. I actually went under their budget. Let me show you something for 7. They didn't like it. Okay, let me show you something for 9, right in the middle of your budget. It's okay. What else? I'm gonna show you something for 10. Okay. Can I wow you? What do you mean? There's just something on the corner I gotta show you. We got 5 minutes. Can I just take you in? I had already made the appointment. The property's on the market for $21 million. Double what they want to spend. Took them in there. The husband looked at me and said, "I hate you." And that's when I knew I had them. And I told them, just like the shoe salesman told me, do not buy, you're not buying this. Yes, it's for sale, but you're not buying this. We were just on the corner and I wanted to show it to you because it's amazing. So then we left, we took a look at some other things, and those clients came back to me at the end of the day and said, hey, that big one you showed us, let's talk about making an offer. Wow. So you've got first impressions and you've got the wow moment. My third secret is called the flip. And it's all about how to turn negatives into positives. So it happens all the time. And objections are often the same in real estate all the time. And you probably hear them all the time. The same objections people have about why they don't want to buy that house or buy in that neighborhood or the safety or the gardens or whatever the issues might be. You hear them all the time, right? And so you start to learn what to say to handle those objections. But you need to practice the flip. And practicing this can put you in a position to immediately tackle any objection a client brings up. So something I'll do with all of my agents on any property they're selling, any property. It's easy to know why the property's great. You don't need to push that. It has beautiful views. Great. Obviously it does. Look at the windows. It has great outdoor space. It's a good deal. Whatever the good reasons might be, perfect. But I make my agents focus on what's bad. Because every buyer who's walking in, they don't focus on the good things. They go right to the bad things. They point at them. Well, this kitchen needs work. This isn't good. That neighbor, bah, 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 bah. And then a lot of salespeople are thrown off because they were so focused on only showcasing the good things. They were unprepared for how to handle the objections about what might be wrong with the house. So I make sure all my agents practice the flip, which is how to turn a negative into a positive. Is too close to the neighbor. I don't like being able to see my neighbors. This house is too close. That's not a negative. That's a positive. This is one of the best blocks that you could possibly want to live on. And the neighbors here are great people. Actually, that neighbor, David is a high up at his company, and he is going to increase your property value because he's about to sell that house in 6 months after you buy this one for double what you're about to pay. Also, you have a kid, right? Yeah, he's got 2 kids. I think they'll make great friends. Whatever it might be, learn to flip really quickly so that any negative that the clients start to give you, you can flip automatically because you've practiced it, because you've memorized it, and you know exactly what to do and exactly what to say. So work on the flip. That is secret number 3. Secret number 4 is what I call the good news sandwich. Okay. We as salespeople have to deliver bad news all the time. And bad news is less awful when it's sandwiched between some good news. I mean, think about a hospital. Think about a doctor. Okay? You're sick. Maybe you're really sick. Would you rather a doctor walk in to the room and say, hey, Ryan, we got the test results. You're dying. Or would you rather walk in and say, Ryan, we got the test results. Good things and bad things. Everything's going to be okay. Let me tell you what I found. This is what's going on. And then you end it with, here's the solution. So you don't just walk in and give all the bad news. You give a little bit of good news at the beginning, good news at the end. You sandwich it with the meat, because bad news is always less awful, and it's never your fault when you mix it with good news. So the good news doesn't have to be that you've won the lottery, right? It doesn't have to be a lie. It doesn't have to be amazing, and it can be simple. Like the good news is
life isn't always easy. For many, it starts with challenges, setbacks, and the harsh reality of poverty. But within every struggle lies the seed of potential, waiting to be nurtured. Imagine waking up every day with a dream so vivid, it fuels you to push beyond your circumstances. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every setback is a stepping stone. The journey from poverty to success is paved with hard work, perseverance, and a relentless belief in oneself. Today, we gather the brightest minds, industry leaders, and visionaries from around the globe to explore the future of wealth creation and financial empowerment. From investment insights to entrepreneurial breakthroughs, this conference is your gateway to unlocking new possibilities.
Who is going with me?
Welcome to the Global Wealth Festival 2024.
To that, we owe Dr. Stephen a thank you for putting on this event, for making it happen, for really investing in the community.
It's really inspired me and motivated me to want to build wealth, invest, and really take my business to a next level.
Visit www.stephenakintayo.com/GWF USA to book your site now.
The speed at which you market, promote yourself, your business, your company, your successes, your products, your services, your greatness. The speed and frequency at which you do this will determine how big you get and how fast you get big. Oh my God, this is good. You guys excited? And marketing, what will happen when I market this on Instagram, somebody in some part of the world, maybe in Africa, maybe in Central Africa, maybe in North Africa, maybe in South Africa, is going to see that video on Instagram in my stories and say, hey, we want to do that with you too. Maybe somebody in Dubai sees it. Maybe somebody in Singapore. Maybe somebody here in America sees that. Hey, Grant, Mr. Cardone, we want to do that with you for our conference. So one idea, okay? I'm here today with you to market this idea, this concept. I'm here to sell an idea. I wake up this morning, okay, my idea today is to do a great job for Dr. Stephen. I love this man. I love Nigeria. I love Africa. They're going to be in Dubai. This is parts of the world I want to be in. So I need to come and market and promote to you what a successful business cycle is, so that I can be part of your success going forward. See, the best way for me to grow my brand successful, you and I will always be your sister. If I can help you grow your business to your think and your business to 10 times bigger than your imagination, you and I will always be have an allegiance. I think you would agree with that. And that is my mission, by the way. I'm telling you, I'm marketing you my mission. My mission is to expand my brand, my legacy, and my life through you. Because I won't be around forever. But many of you will be around for 40 or 50 years after I am. And hopefully your successes will outlive you by hundreds of years. And our allegiance to success, our allegiance to being successful will promote me and you going forward, okay? So what happens when I market and promote enough is I get leads. Let me show you what a lead looks like. A lead is someone that raises their hand and says, I'm interested. A lead also is someone that says, I don't like that, what you just did. That's a lead as well. I just want you to know that. I'm not in the market. I am in the market. We just sold a home. We're going to buy a home 4 years from now. Not now, but I know somebody else. Okay. You have a misspelling in your advertisement. That is a lead. All those are leads. Not interested is a lead. Interested is a lead. Mildly interested is a lead. They're all leads. Okay. You want to write this down. Every lead is a buyer. Bad credit, no money, no job, 4 years old, 14 years old, 44 years old, 84 years old. Every lead is a buyer. There is no such thing as a non-buyer. Everyone is a buyer for something. Someday, some way, somehow, they will buy something. Now, just because they're not buying your house or your piece of land or the deal you're on does not mean they're not a buyer. They are a buyer, and buyers are connected to buyers. And the fact that I don't sell a car, but they are buying a car and I assist them in buying a car, if I could assist them in buying a car and making it pleasurable and helping the car dealer and helping the lead, the customer, the prospect, someday, somehow, some way, maybe, if I keep this as a qualified buyer, as a lead, and stay in contact with that lead, one day, someday, somehow, some way, that lead, that contact might turn into a contract. Your business is about contacts. Contacts sport. The most successful businesses in the world make the most contacts. The more contacts you make, the more contracts you make. See, this is not very complicated. My business cycle is simply, I have an idea. I want to get in I want to be a real estate investor. I had this idea when I was 28 years old. Okay, good. I market that idea. Hey guys, I want to be a real estate investor. I don't go get a class first. First thing I do is start telling people I want to invest in real estate. I don't go get a book first. I start telling people, who knows, maybe somebody will say, I can help you with that. The third thing, I start getting leads about books, about brokers, about agents, about information, about books I need to read. I get leads that can help me either invest with me, give me the money to invest, because I didn't have any money in the beginning. But these leads, this environment, what Ryan Serhant was saying was he would walk into a room and he would say, I understand you're the smartest, I think you're the smartest person in the room and I'm looking for him. That is brilliant, because what is he doing? He's getting leads. He's making himself known and he's building his list. So I want you to write this down as a side note, okay? Somebody's saying, can we please get a recording of this? Yeah, this is good, right? I know when it's good, okay? And again, I'm going to tell you, some people don't like me right now because I'm like, when I'm good, I'm going to tell you I'm good. And right now, today, I'm good. And I'm only good because you, the audience, are great. A speaker cannot be out of a comedy show, a movie. You walk into an art museum. If you love the art there, if the art was special, it is because you're special. It is because that very thing resides in you. If you love me, you love my energy. I like that guy so much. That guy's great. You could only see that in me because it exists in you. Okay, so, and I'm really, I got to tell you, I'm so humbled and honored to be here today with you. You have no idea what it means for me to spend my Saturday with you, because this is an opportunity for me to grow my idea to be something special. And I can't do that without you. I cannot be something special without you.
Hi, my name is Maria Balagisha Israel.
Ibrahim Brahman, I'm a property investor.
And I just want to thank Dr. Stephen Akintai and all the guest speakers.
Little did I know I'd be in the room with billionaires.
I was on the panel, I'm able to share my story, which from feedback people have taken inspiration from. But the big thing about this event is not just about inspiration, it's about turning that inspiration into action.
Inspired me and motivated me to want to build wealth, invest, and really take my business to a next level.
And my opinion has changed 360 degrees. So I'm giving you a very honest opinion. And the reason why, because the host, Dr. Stephen, he has put on a fabulous event. And every speaker that has spoken into my life.
Opportunity, and I appreciate you all so much.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen.
So much for this opportunity. God bless you.
To be here and to be able to share this with you all right now.
Visit